Tay Nelson, welcome to the Sunday Afternoon Smokes Lounge.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor and a privilege.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it today. You and I met through our mutual friend Craig Coons
Yes.
at Southern Roots Barbecue.
Yes. Our first year there. It was awesome.
This was your first year?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, dude, that was a great event.
It was really great. Seeing people that I've been knowing for a while, even from customers. I call Bobby's Barbecue family, but even the brothers and sisters in the culinary world, you know.
Yeah. Well, it was awesome. It was great to meet you. And then, I found out that you're a fellow cigar smoker. And
Yes.
so I've got you over there with a Arturo Fuente. That's the Royal Salute. That's the sun grown. So feel free to light up. There's a torch lighter over there. Also under your phone, there's a book of long stem matches if you prefer that. But whatever you like to do, you go ahead and light up. You recognize this cigar?
It looks familiar. The Opus 25.
That's the one you gave me
Oh, for real?
when I came by your house.
I thought you'd been on smoke that one.
Well, I smoked I went on a cruise with my family at the end
Oh,
of
wow.
at the end of May, and I smoked the other one that you gave me. And that was really enjoyable. I smoked it in the morning with a cup of coffee out on the deck.
That's my
Group
favorite
shit.
way to smoke cigars, with coffee.
Is it?
I take it over bourbon any day.
Yeah, I know. I have several friends that have that same opinion, and I'm pretty close. I think I'm pretty close to that opinion that coffee and cigars might just be better than bourbon and cigars.
With bourbon, it can get lost. It's enjoyable, don't get me wrong, but the bourbon can kind of overtake it sometimes. And then you kind of lose sense of that. With that coffee, it's consistent. It's not gonna get stronger as you keep drinking it or affects you. But the coffee is just mellow. You're sipping on that, you're smoking your cigar, and you just enjoying it all.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got the Fuente Royal Salute Sun Grown. I've got the Opus X. What is this, like 25th anniversary or something like that?
25th anniversary.
25th anniversary. So looking forward to lighting this up. You've got Old Forester Bourbon. I've got Sagamore Rye, and we are rolling.
Let's go.
So before we get too far into it, what I like to do is just let my guests introduce themselves. So take a minute, say as much or as little about yourself as you like, and then while you do that, I'm going to light my cigar.
Okay, well, my name's Tay Nelson. It's Octavius Nelson, but my friends call me Tay. And people from the restaurant, they come a lot. They call me Bobby, but Bobby's my late dad, my late brother. I'm from Greenville County. My mother's from Fountain Inn, and my late dad is from the city of Greenville area, the Nickeltown area. So I took people from Greenville County, so I'm born and bred here. We have a restaurant in Fountain Inn called Bobby's Barbecue. This October will be 8 years. So that's a true blessing in itself. And been in the food industry since I was like 12, and now I'm 46, but I ran from it, and seems like God has a way of showing you what you should be doing, and I tried everything else, but I really love barbecue. It came easy to me, but I love the people more. So got 5 kids, 2 of them are out the house. The 3 younger ones, 11, 10, and 9 are in the house. They keep things interesting. Me and my wife, Sarah, and other than that, just really enjoying life. I love cigars, as you said. One of my mentors turned me on to them. I smoked them in the past, but never nothing big about them. He actually turned me on to bourbon too, and I just really enjoy it. It makes me slow down. I'm always on the go, seem like, and cigars make me slow down and take the time, and that's what I really enjoy about that. And it's the conversations you can have. Like, it's like taking the labels off the cigars. When you're around people, it's not about job titles and stuff like that, or this is enjoying the stick. Talk as much as you want, or as little as you want.
Mm-hmm.
I do like being in a place where we can chit-chat and talk or watch TV. I think it's crazy to be on your phone, especially in cigar settings and stuff. Could kind of defeat the purpose. But I'm cool either way. But other than that, just easygoing guy trying to slow down some and enjoy everything.
Yeah.
Because life is precious and it's fast.
You got that right. Man, my kids are 21, 19, 17, and 13. And I don't know where the time goes, and the older you get, the faster it moves, and it's just, cigars do help you just slow down, in a world that is moving at warp speed. where we have, just drive through, your food's ready in the microwave in 3 minutes, like 24/7 news cycle. Cigars are kind of an antidote to all that.
Yes.
Let me just, because this is not something, I have said it ad nauseum on this podcast, this is not something that's going to be finished in 5 minutes. This is going to take an hour of your time. You get to sit down, get off your phone, unless that's what you like to do, because the cigar time is me time.
Right. Correct.
But I have thought that I would like to, I don't think I ever will, but I would love to open a cigar lounge and really focus on the people. There's no TVs in my lounge. Then this cigar lounge is not the place you come to watch the Super Bowl. This is not where you watch the World Series. We don't watch sports here. We don't watch politics on the TV. We come face to face. There's no TVs here. So what we do, we smoke cigars and we connect people.
I daydream about having a cigar lounge, but that's not my like on a bucket list. But if I did, I would like to have TVs in there. They wouldn't have no news on there. Maybe a little local news. I want to make sure if the sky's falling out, I know if I walk outside, get hit in the head. But I would like to have an area that didn't have TVs. But my biggest thing, I'm working on having our own cigar line of cigars. And that's something I'm very passionate about. I'm going to name it after myself, Octavius. And that's something really important to me. Mental reasons, whatever the case may be, just feeling good like in the stage of my life. Because like you said, life is going at warp speed, but I'm not going at warp speed. I'm actually slowing down. So something like that, I don't really consider it a legacy. Something that I really just like, hey, to put my name on it really means a lot. Trying to get my favorite cigar. Right now is Arturo Fuente 858, the natural to Cameroon wrapper, but I love a lot of other cigars. And just something we can share with people. If it sells out, fine. If it doesn't, then I'll smoke them.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that to me back at Southern Roots, that you're working on getting your kind of your own line of cigars going. How long have you been working on that project?
I think about 2.5 years, right? When I first started smoking, to be honest, but it's not as fast as you think. You're definitely working with people either from Dominican Republic or Nicaragua, and you're dealing with that and people in the middle. And one thing I was told by I could do like a brother to me, Rodney Scott, just when I went to him for advice, not about cigar advice, but it's in business, he said, you take your time, don't rush it. And I had to learn that because you got this idea, you want to get it out, you're telling people about it, you're excited, but you can't rush it. You're not looking for perfection, but you're looking for something you really can enjoy and stand behind. So when that is the case, like the cigar, it makes you slow down.
Yeah.
And it makes you really enjoy it. And you have some bumps. I wrote with about 3 or 4 different companies, and I ain't gonna say it ain't bad, but it was in not an agreement. We don't have a cigar, but you gotta believe what you believe in, stand behind. And some people, I think, want to push where they got it and stop. Some people truly give you their best shot, but it doesn't work and it's nothing personal. You come to the restaurant for the first time, you don't like it, I respect that. If you come often, it's not right, then I need to tighten up. So in that regard, everybody's palate different, your palate changed, but you're working on it. But I'm with a company now that I feel confident about. They definitely great on communication. That's one of the biggest hurdles, communication. And a lot of times you're on their time, which I get that, but you also spending money too. And then when you advertise as a custom blend, then that's what you're doing. So, but it's been a lot of education. I still have love for the ones that it didn't work out, because a lot of these people, this is their lifeline, it's their bread and butter. And a lot of them have family tradition tied to this, so I respect that. And there's nothing making me go along with it if I don't want to. Yeah. So in the end of the day, it's a mutual respect. You learn a lot about yourself, but it's teaching patience, something I used to didn't have. And I'm learning to get more of, especially with kids in the house.
Oh, yeah. So where are you at in the process? I know you're still trying. Where are you in the process?
I got another set of samples in Saturday, so I had to put my humidor because they came from Nicaragua. And so I'll probably try some tomorrow. I have like 15 different sticks. We done went through a good bit of them. And they was like, hey, we're going to figure this out. We're going to get it down, pack. And I have this whole paper I have to fill out, which is cool because in the past, you just smoking, okay, this and that. I make sure I try it in the morning, first cigar of the day, and it's really cool to take the notes and stuff like that. And what do you taste, what you don't taste.
Yeah.
And have an input in it. So somebody's giving you something, say, here, try this out.
What are you trying to create with your cigar? Like, what is it that you want out of it?
Well, eventually I like to have like 3 or 4 different cigars, but the first one is like my favorite. I want something medium to full or medium. I want something with some spice, some creaminess, probably some natural sweetness, but not like syrupy or infused. And something not too big in my hand. I think the biggest I want to go is a 52 ring gauge. I was looking at the 46, but
That's thin, man.
it's thin, but I like the way it feels in my hand. But for bang for buck, it can get some pushback. I have some 52s I like, but I don't want nothing 54, 56, or 60s. I don't like the way it feels in my hand. I definitely like how it feels in my mouth.
Yeah. No, I know some guys that like 60 ring gauge and up, like Gordos and stuff,
Right.
and higher. And that's just, I don't know. I feel like that's just that's too much for me. This ring gauge is too big. My favorites now, you're smoking that cigar. I think this is one as a Churchill. That might be a Presidente.
I think it's because
Yeah. I mean, it's a long cigar. My favorite cigar size is a Toro. And that's usually like 6 to 6.5 by 54, probably. I just feel like that's the perfect cigar size. That's just me. What do you like?
I like a 60 by 50 or 60 by 48. As in producing our own cigar.
Six by 48?
Yeah, 6 by 48, 6 by 50, even though it's not much difference. But that 6 by, I think it's 5.75 by 46,
Yeah.
by 858. I like the way that hold, but as I've tried other ones, it's still my favorite as in consistency and structure and stuff. But other cigars in that same profile always don't fit the bill. It can be a little stronger because it's more compact, but they figured it out. And it's actually Arturo Fuente's the senior's favorite cigar. I ain't know it till later on. Plus, I have a Cameroon wrapper, which is done in Central to West Africa, which means a lot to me being African American, which I didn't know.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going away from that wrapper because a lot of the big dogs have it wrapped up, and people who do have it, a lot of them is not the same quality, or the rollers don't have the same experience.
Well, from what I understand, Cameroon tobacco, number one, there's not a ton of it. It's not bountiful, but it's also, as far as I understand, it's very fragile.
Yes.
And it's not easy to work with, and so you usually do find it on smaller ring gauge cigars.
Especially colder climates too. I don't want to be just a seasonal cigar either. Like the 858, I can smoke it like that, but some other footprints of them, it fall apart with the heat and stuff, because you got that heat going through that cigar, and you got that cold weather, makes it crack easy. If you drop it by accident, it's pretty much done.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going more of probably a sun-grown or a Corojo or a Sumatra, some wrapper like that. I'm not against Maduro, because I know just because it's dark, it's not strong flavor, but just being consistent in them from what I run across. But the biggest thing I'm learning, like the sun-grown, like I said, the Sumatra and the Corojo, it's kind of like one of those three, even though they're different in their own ways. They have some consistency. The Connecticut is more of a mild cigar. I will smoke some, but some I don't get any flavor from it.
Yeah.
So that's most for the novice or the person just want to have a cigar. They shooting golf, playing poker, just having a couple of beers with some friends. They probably don't smoke us all. Just give me something. But I want to have something for that person. And then for the majority of the people who just really love that, from the color, the texture, to the taste of it, and have that. Because I have had some Maduros I did like. But with that being said, I like trying different stuff. I like some San Andreas from Rocky Patel.
I love Mexican San Andreas tobacco. I love Connecticut and Pennsylvania broadleaf. That's my favorite stuff. But those are usually the heavier. That's the heavier stuff. That's the full,
right?
Medium to medium. If you're doing medium to medium full, I feel like the Cameroon, the Corojo, I feel like you're right there. You're right in the ballpark where you need to be. It's just a matter of now they've sent you your samples. You got to smoke them. You got to send feedback.
Yes.
And they've
been very communicative in communicating, which has been a problem in the past. So I like that. So I'm excited. I really am looking forward to it. And being patient and not rushing it, not trying to get it out. Because plus on top of that, tobacco change, you have a natural product. So from the growing season, from rain to drought, sun, no sun, who's picking it and stuff like that. So the consistency. It's a lot going on.
So many variables.
Yeah, and if you're not careful, there be people like, oh, you're not a purist because you're not growing it, and you're not rolling it, harvesting and rolling it. But I don't have the resources all the time to do that. It would be nice to do that, but let's be realistic. And just I like partnerships. I like working with people, especially when it's a good relationship. And so I'm looking forward to it. But I like the culture behind it. I like to see, especially people who've been doing it for years. I like the stories. I like how they got there. So it's kind of like with barbecue or food in general. So I think it's a natural fit for me because I have the same excitement I have for barbecue.
Yeah.
You know, I have that same feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made me do it. I just don't jump on stuff to be doing it because everybody else is doing it.
Yeah. So I know you said you are being patient, taking your time with this process. That being said, though, do you have any kind of like target date in mind to where you'd like to have a finished product in your hand?
I would say by being when we about to turn July, I don't know when it's gonna air, but I would say give it to the holidays. Cause if you, I might smoke the first cigar, this sample and love it. They still got time. They have to roll it up, let it sit for about 3 to 4 months
Minimum.
and then ship it over. And then you let it sit and go from there. So I'm not in a mash the gas, if that makes sense.
Well, that's the thing people don't. Now, listen, I'm going to speak here from strictly head knowledge and understanding about how cigars work, not from practical experience.
And you know about cigars. This is what you do. So
I know a little bit.
well,
and I don't say that jokingly, but I don't know if I do or not. But just from reading and basically understanding how cigars work, like you said, if you fill out the form and you send it back to them, and it's like, okay, this is a go. Let's make this. This is my.
I'm gonna put
product.
another piece of ice in my.
Yeah, man.
I'm not as strong as some people. I need more hair on my chest.
I got plenty.
I need some implants. I ain't got any. I can't even grow a mustache. I try. I get picked that all the time. Even my mama said, "What you doing with that on your face?" Even customers, when I cut it out, they was like, "Thank God." Anyway, sorry.
No, that's funny. But the finished product cigar that's going to be shipped to Tay Nelson in Simpsonville, South Carolina, from Nicaragua or from the Dominican Republic, it's not going to be the same. If you smoked that cigar in Nicaragua, it's not going to be the same if you smoke it in Simpsonville.
That's correct. That's correct.
It's going to go, they're going to manufacture the cigar. They're going to bundle them. They're going to put it in their aging room for probably 90 days minimum, maybe longer at your direction, however much money you want to pay, because time is money. Then they're going to box them up. It's going to get on some kind of, I don't know how they're going to send it. If it's going to go to some shipping container on a boat, if they're going to send it through airplane, but it's going to go through all types of temperature and humidity fluctuations. Then it's going to make it to the States, and it's going to get sent to a sorting facility, and whether it's going to come to you via UPS or USPS or FedEx, and it's going to be in the back of some truck, and it's going to be hot, and it's going to get to you. And it's like, I've got to take this cigar now that cigar has been through basically cigar trauma.
A lot.
Yeah. And now I need to put it in a cool environment, a relatively cool environment on whatever humidity level you like. And I probably need to let it sit there for like a month at least.
That's why I said the holidays, you know. Our birthday's in January, that'd be a good time. But the actual first cigar is called the brand is Octavius Reserve. That's my name, Octavius. And the first one gonna be the Phoenix. And I like that. It's like I made like a family crest or a signet ring, whatever you call them. Cause like I always wanted something like that, and just something like just coming from the ashes is something with barbecue, but not really. It's just overcoming stuff that God brought me through, and just resilience, rising above, rebirth, and stuff like that. It's a lot of meanings, but just really means a lot to me. And the name Octavius Reserve, because the restaurant and the seasoning came first, but the restaurant and the seasoning was my late dad, my late brother, which has a special meaning. But just to put my name on it really means a lot. And that gets me dialed in, locked in, but also have fun and enjoying it.
Yeah.
So if people like it, they don't like it, I don't care. And
you shouldn't. It's for you.
Yeah, that's why I said my favorite cigar.
Yeah.
And it's not for bragging rights. Thank God I don't have to do it to pay the bills. I know people who's in that situation, put a lot of pressure on them. So with that being said, it's somebody truly can enjoy and the history behind it. The first one, supposed to had a Cameroon wrapper, but we couldn't make it work. And that was a kind of a letdown. But when I talked to people in this industry, from vendors to people who has the retail stores, the people who make it, don't get something you can't continue, especially if it's a hard time getting your hands on it. And then if you can't get the skilled people, like the Mirafields, pretty much have that sold up. Excuse me, and then Fuente and probably what Rocky Patel done, who got the buying power, got relationships. It's gonna be hard to get your hands on it. So you need something you can work consistent. That's just understandable because there might come a time down the road if it's meant to be. But I don't want to lose the fun in it either. I don't want to be stressed.
No, you need something that's readily accessible.
Exactly, and that's what I was told. And that's part of the learning curve, not being stubborn and bullheaded. Like, what are we doing here?
Well, look, when Octavius Phoenix makes it, I want some. I'll buy them.
Yeah,
I'm happy to buy them.
It's Octavius Reserve.
Octavius
and the
Reserve.
First one is the Phoenix.
We're gonna smoke them on Sunday afternoon smoke.
Yes.
And dude, that's phenomenal. I've never met anybody that just did all the work of creating their own cigar.
And I'm a student. Like, I get obsessed with like what I did with barbecue. Like, people can tell me, like, dude, you got a passion. I didn't know that meant. People like, dude, you obsessed. Like, I stayed up days and days. Like, I would go to sleep. I was working a full-time job at the barbecue with the cigars the same way. Like, I watch tons of videos. Read articles about it. Like, I really get deep in the weeds because I really like that.
Yeah, you basically went to YouTube Barbecue University.
Yes, and I'm doing the same thing with cigars.
Yeah, so all right. So let's just go ahead and jump into this. I know you said our time's a little bit limited, and that's fine. So let's back up a little bit before that, and let me ask you, before Octavius Nelson becomes super passionate about barbecue, what are you doing for a living?
I was working at GE in Greenville, the gas turbine plant. Started out as a contractor, got hired on in 8 months as a assembler, building gas turbines. I was actually building an accessory base and did some on the gas turbine. Didn't know how to read a ruler, and that's very important to building gas turbines. Something that big, going that fast was so small of a clearance. But bust my butt, paid my dues, learned a lot of things on the way, took my lumps, whatever. And then during that time, my wife was like, you need to find a hobby. You don't have no hobbies. All you do is work. Work, church, and come home. You don't do anything. And I was like, okay. And try to go hang out with some of the fellas from the past. That didn't work out. Try to hang out with some new people. That don't always work out. People busy, got lives and stuff. And one of the surprises, I used to do pork butts and pulled pork in a crock pot. My mama had a recipe that she got from my late father, even though they weren't together, but he was a real good cook, so he had ways of manipulating. So I knew she liked it there, but I wanted some pork ribs. And that's how it started, man. Not to jump around, but I was building gas turbines. Had no intentions of leaving there. I was trying to become a ship, obviously like a supervisor and work my way up. I even daydreamed about being a plant manager. Why not? You know, like working my way up, not going there overnight, but putting the work in. Because I'm from this area, like GE was a big thing. I went to school with kids whose parents were there. Their life was different. Like, life was good. But they took pride. Like, when I think of a gas turbine, that's like when you turn that light switch on, that's what happens, because that gas turbine. I met people from all around the world we sell those turbines to, and you build relationships with them because the same person will come over, the buyer. In certain countries, the power is controlled and delegated out who gets it and what time they get it. In some cases, it's not the case.
The rolling blackouts.
And all that stuff. In some cases, it's freely, but just I guess the student in me, the curiosity and just the history of that really just blows my mind still to this day.
Yeah. Well, were you happy at GE?
I was happy, and I was frustrated with a lot of people who got comfortable and stuff, and a lot of times just getting the job done. So I felt like the model of them, where they started at, what they believed in, because I drank the Kool-Aid, kind of got lost. But it happens sometime, but I still love it so much to learn. And I think that was the thing that got me so intrigued in the relationships you build with people. A lot of times with the people who come from overseas to get those gas turbines, because a lot of people over here can get a little spoiled, entitled, or get comfortable. Not saying you should be reckless and all over the place, but just you meet people who really you can relate to. And it's funny, you can relate to a person from overseas and a person that live down the street sometimes.
Coming from two different worlds.
Yeah.
But
and all the future technology, because I'm a student of like just where it could go.
Yeah.
Where it came from and where it can go. That was pretty neat.
So the wife says to you, you need something to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Why barbecue?
I don't know. I think it chose me because I went online. She was pregnant with our now 11-year-old daughter. Her parents threw her a baby shower down in North Atlanta. My mother went with her. And while she was gone, she's like, "What you gonna do?" I said, "I'm probably gonna sit on the couch because I'm pretty much was an industrial. I was in industrial construction at GE. I was turning nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted some pork ribs. I ain't had them in a while. You go to the Applebee's and other places, no not, but it wasn't what I wanted. Plus, it wasn't the stuff I could remember.
Don't go to Applebee's to get pork ribs. Just let you know.
Well,
go to Bobby's, but don't go to...
But growing up, the ribs used to be on point. And the chicken in the finger basket, I used to love that growing up. But anyway, I just wanted something. I didn't want nothing boiled first and threw on the grill. You see our type of methods or whatever. Or just in there. I like the char on that. It's more of a direct heat, but the indirect heat, it just came to me. And then when I cooked them, when she came back home the next day, her and my mom, she was like, "I'm hungry." She's pregnant. And she was like, "What we got to eat?" I said, "I'm glad you asked." And I had the pork, but I thought she was going to run to that. I cooked it, went off the video, let it cool out, put in the refrigerator. I didn't even taste it. I thought she was going to say the pork, but she saw them pork ribs. Let's eat them. She whipped up some mac and cheese and green beans. She bit into that rib and lit up. That's all I needed to hear. I was like Superman. Dun, 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 dun. So then I got more interested in it, and just took off, man. But I still was very passionate about learning the job role I was in and growing in that, by all means. But the coolest thing about it, I went on Google, some of the YouTube. A lot of guys in the beginning of the videos was drunk, talking reckless, and I'm like, this is silly. And I got to some other guy that was real sophisticated, had gadgets, seasonings, techniques I never heard of. And this one guy was cool, laid back, nerdy, cool as a fan. He had a smoke. I had a $100 grill from Walmart. I set up the same way, made it work. And then from then on, I went down the rabbit hole watching Jimmy Kimmel probably about 6 months later or something, 4 to 6 months later. He had a new book came out. And it was Aaron Franklin from Austin, Texas, Franklin Barbecue. And I looked him up and I was like, oh my God, because you know what's crazy? I won't buy a remote control unless I go on YouTube and Google it. So for me to be following this guy and fall in love with his style and never had his food, and I didn't do research, I think there had to been a divine thing, because everything, if I buy a hat, I'm going to look it up. I'm just like how I am. If I go to cigar lounge, I'm going to be taking my phone out, looking up cigar. They probably think I'm in there stealing, because they always ask about 3 or 4 times you need that, so I'm good. But it's funny I did not do that with that. But then after that, I reached out to him a couple times. My wife said I wrote him a book, so he's not going to respond. She went back and shortened it. And his manager, wife's cousin at the time, written back Benji, then his wife did, and he did. Then I got to meet him a couple years later. But yes, man, like it just took my lid off. And then from there, I got to meet through the late great Mike Mills from Murfreesboro, Illinois. He introduced me a guy to Anderson Chet from Pompous Pig. And then I got to go to Fort Worth, Texas, when I found out I have enough, because I got hurt on a job at GE. That's how I got to barbecue full time. I got hurt. They said, we're going to take care of you. We love you. Them jokers fired me. And I ended up having 2 surgeries on this hand, 1 on this, but I didn't get paid for this, but that's neither here nor there. And my wife knew I was so distraught about the surgery. She surprised me because I was a part of NBBQA, and she sent me down to Fort Worth, Texas. I got to meet Franklin in place, but I got to meet a lot of other people. Some people you see on TV now that wasn't that big. Even Matt Pittman, Meat Church was a very humble guy, formative guy, shared a lot of knowledge. But yes, just talking to Aaron Franklin, he was just like, you're going to learn from your mistakes. And I ain't like making mistakes. I wasn't a perfectionist, but you got to buy this meat out of all day long. You don't want to drop the ball. But learning from the mistakes, it gave me freedom to be adventurous. And then what really changed my life in barbecue with the style we do here is through Sonny Moberg from Moberg Smokers. When I pulled the trigger on my smoker and I went down there to give him the check, because I don't know this guy, I'm not finna wire no money. Oh, I was like, man, mail that check down and you just want to go. And I went, and he introduced me to Mike and Mark Black from Terry Black's. And it was cool. I saw a dude named Dylan Taylor was one of the founding people of Goldie's before he left. And we only talked through Instagram, but he vouched for me. And Mike and Mark just took me up on their wing, man. And that changed my life forever. But since then, people from Miguel from Valentina's, Rodney Scott, like a big brother, Brian Furman, my dog, Elliot Malls, Rasheed Phillips. But I know I'm forgetting names, but there's a ton of people who've poured into me. And some relations I still have. Like my man Chewy from the Blue Angels. I met him through Rasheed Phillips. They got a video on Prime Video, and I had him and the other guy at our restaurant eating. After the video came out, people was in there stopping, talking to them, which was awesome. He gave me a thing on the wall. I got one for my kids, the Blue Angels, with so many people I got to meet from all around the world, to the point that YouTube heard about our story. They flew out like a 13-people crew and did like a mini documentary on us.
That's crazy.
Man, it's insane. Being featured in Wall Street Journal, Time Magazine, and stuff like that. I pinch myself, man. Like, one act of obedience can open up a lot of doors and change a lot of people's destiny, because I do believe in the Lord. I'm not one of these holy rollers or voodoo people, but I do believe it just from my past experience with him. But really, and plus I ran from it. I tried everything else. I told you that. And it's been the hardest thing I've done, but the most rewarding thing I've done.
Yeah. Well, you can't run from him.
I did. I was like Jonah in the whale.
Well, that proves my point. You can't run. Like, you think you're running, you think you're escaping, you think you're getting far away, you ain't going nowhere.
Right.
He knows where you are. You cannot hide from the eye of the Lord. You know, run to and fro throughout the earth, beholding the evil and the good. You cannot escape. Like you said, so just be obedient.
I'm learning.
Just do what you're told. It's not, that's something I try and stress to my kids, like, to enjoy, I understand, because I was a kid, I was a teen, and now I'm a grown man, and there's trade-offs.
Right.
There's trade-offs. Like, and as an adult, you look back and I understand. I had a wonderful childhood. Not everybody had my same experience, but generally speaking, like, childhood, that's where it's at. Like, you get to do mostly whatever you want within these boundaries, and you got no responsibility. It's not up to you to pay the bills, and you just do what you're told and go to school.
I'm gonna share something with you, like a surreal moment, full circle moment. I was down at the Morgan Wallen concert at Death Valley. I took my 10-year-old son.
Yeah, I saw that on.
And DJ is like a little brother, him and his brother Devin, but we all are related. He the one introduced us to Morgan Wallen. But back in 2010, after I lost my brother, because I was popping 08, my brother in 09, I started selling seeds in their name. I came out during the week of fall for Greenville in October of 2010. Then when Clemson played South Carolina Thanksgiving weekend, I went down there, and a lady named Kelly Mack, she used to be a radio personality. I was trying to do radio advertising. She's like, listen, you can't afford that. And she wasn't rude. She's like, I can take your money, but no, that's a lot. She said, get you like a little laptop bag, a little bag, go down there, sell seed, and they ring you off, then leave. Be respectful. I went down there and sold 7 bottles. The reason why that meant so much, because I was going to quit. I felt discouraged. People was rude. Half of them was drunk. People didn't want to hear what you got to say. I'm like, I'm doing the right thing. At least hear me out. But I didn't quit. And I was down there by that baseball field where the shuttle dropped us off and picked us up at, is what I was going to give it, just throw it all away halfway through that day. And I said, when I get back home, I'll throw everything. Outside my apartment window was a dumpster. I had to move back home with my mom and stuff. I was going to throw everything in that trash. I was 30 years old. But I said, if you quit now, you got to throw it all away. But I didn't quit. And ever since then, every time I go down there, I would sell out. And I would take way more than what I had that day. And people call me Spice Man. But one thing I learned from there, the guys like, is it consistent? I like, yes, sir, it's the same, yes. And one thing I learned, a bottle from Heinz ketchup tastes the same from Dollar General, it tastes from Publix. Tastes the same from Sam's. And that's one thing, I didn't cut corners. I was 5 grams short on something. I was short on white pepper. The Sam's in Greenville didn't have it. I waited till the next day to go to the Sam's in Asheville to get those 5 grams. Because that name on that bottle meant a lot. My late dad, my late brother, but my character, my integrity, and who I am as a person meant a lot. And with that being said, that came first. And then when I was selling out the car and stuff and got in some butcher markets, when I got in Whole Foods, I said, boy, it's on. I'm about to be rich. It didn't happen that way. So don't quit your day job. But then I was going to quit doing it. I'm like, I'm having more kids. I got married. We having more kids. I need to think about career, like paying the bills. And then a couple of people reached out to them and said, hey, I need it. I love it. It was all natural. It wasn't organic, but it was all natural. And they have all those additives and preservatives in it. People say, my head don't hurt when I eat it like other stuff. It don't do this and do that. So I said, I just sell it to them. And then when I started getting in barbecue, I started following the big names on TV, the Myron Mixons and everybody else. And my wife said, maybe God gave you this seasoning for that. Fast forward, that seasoning is in everything except the sweet tea and the banana pudding at our restaurant. With that also being said, sitting down there at Death Valley, that was 16 years ago. Restaurant was definitely not on my list then. The season was, but I was gonna do like Newman's Own salad dressing, and I wanted to start a soup kitchen because I came up poor, like po-po. I know people got it worse, but that's my truth. But I want to help people. And my late father was like, if you can't help yourself, you're gonna be poor yourself. You're gonna be at your own soup kitchen getting something to eat. So when looking back at that moment when it hit me, you don't know how God to get you started. But something I was told by Lady and Pastor Jen was like, use what you got in your hand. What did God give you at the time was that season. So fast forward, because before the job at GE, I was selling season. I was cooking on the side of the road, but it did good and it didn't last. I was off Academy where the crop center was at. And as that construction, they was building, as that dwindled down, like, God, I need a food truck or something. But it still wasn't in my heart like it is now. And I got the job at GE. I said, ooh, praise God, but I ain't cooking no more. I'm working. So back again to that full circle moment was a couple of days ago. I was like, wow. But I stayed diligent, I stayed humble, I kept my integrity, I gave him the glory and everything, and it raised me to this point. Like that restaurant is raising me. I'm a 46-year-old kid getting raised by that business and people. So when I say that, not to be too deep, because there's a lot of greatness in there, but there's a lot of defining moments. It take a lot, man. And everybody don't go with you. A lot of times you're not by yourself. You do have God with you, but you're in those moments, you're in that car by yourself, you're on that payment by yourself. And you got to believe in it. People told me to go to Jackalotte. I'm like, no, I'm not against it, but I know the Jackalotte. It's no deals. It costs $5 a bottle. And back then, I wouldn't trade off anything. I need that money in my hand. I paid tithes on it. I did all that. Did things the right way, and I still do it the right way. And now we have sauces. We had to go through Clemson to get the seasoning up legit. Now we got the sauces. And just growth, man. It's just growth. Oh, man, you got to have that. You don't want the hard times, but you got to have them because that what sustains you. Because if it ends tomorrow, what you gonna do? How you gonna get up? If you take a big loss, how do you get back? But also, if you're not humble and don't forget how you get there, you'll get this drinking the Kool-Aid and get the smell of yourself. You get arrogant, and God will knock you down if that's what you believe in. So it's so many lessons, so many blessings in that. Even during the hardships, I can look back, and I had a lot of people help me along the way. It's no self-made over here. For people who did my taxes, same person did my taxes the first couple times for free. Did my business plan with the banks, wouldn't talk to me unless I dealt with this guy. They didn't know he came to my weddings. When they mentioned his name, I said, really? I can call him right now. They're like, yeah, right. I actually talked to him a couple of days ago. But what I'm getting at, though, it taught me so much that I wouldn't trade for the world.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff. People see stuff on the internet and think it's overnight. Majority of the people that you admire did not happen overnight.
Oh, gosh.
And the ones that do don't last because it's hard to keep creating.
Well, I don't know. That's something... That's something people who've never built anything think. Like if somebody saw this, if somebody watches my podcast for the first time, like when when your episode drops, they see this episode for the first time, like they might look at the room and the lights and the neon sign and the whiskey in the back and we're smoking cigars and like, man, that must be awesome to have that place. You think it didn't start like this.
And they compare themselves to you from viewing you from the couch and think they can do it better. Well, they don't understand how it took to even have an idea and get it to go. They don't have the idea, like when a plane takes off, all the friction. You just grab like a space shuttle. Even having a baby, even though I never had that, but I'm just saying like it takes a lot to get some up. Because even with the restaurant, even my own mama told me no. My wife was terrified. I didn't know 2 years later, like, I started doubting myself, but you got to have that moment like, I got to see it through. And even if you fail at something, it's still a lesson in it. You don't quit when it first get hard, but when you're exhausted, you see this ain't going to work, but nothing is wasted. It's still some growth in that.
Yeah, failures are only, how do I want to say this? I don't know. I mean, they're not total failures if you learn. If you learn what went wrong and how not to repeat the same mistakes the next time. You have to be like, rebuke a wise man and he will increase in learning.
Agreed. Thomas Edison or the Wright brothers.
Yeah. I've said Edison said something to the effect that I've not, failed 1,000 times or however many it was. I've just learned 999 ways the light bulb won't work. So you have to be able to step back objectively and review and say, okay, what went wrong? And then make your next run at it.
And that thing you're supposed to do, it won't let you let it go.
Not if you really want to do it.
Even when I walked away from cooking, there's times I like, I'm not doing this. I'm cooking behind the house. You might take a month or two break. It pulls on you. It pulls on you.
Well, if you really love it,
yeah.
If you're really passionate about it, if you really, really want to make it happen, it's not gonna let you go. You know. And so you went from, so you're at GE, and then you're just kind of, you know, putting yourself through YouTube Barbecue University.
Yes, sir.
And then what? Barbecue catering eventually?
Yeah, doing some catering, doing some pop-ups.
Still working at GE?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Working a full-time 8 to 12 hours, usually 12-hour shifts, and going home and cooking on second shift.
Okay. So how was that?
That was hard. In the summertime, you think you about to fall out. In the wintertime, you shaking like a leaf and everybody in their sleep. You want to go and wake everybody up. But that's your baby.
Right.
You got the birth pains. You got to.
So why did you, what? So you learn how to do barbecue, self-taught through, like you said, watching videos, reaching out to people.
Oh, yeah.
Reading articles, all of the above, and you're doing it yourself, whether it's, you know, in your backyard or however. What makes you say, I'm going to start catering?
Because I invested into a smoker, and I went out my life savings. Before I met my wife, when we got married, it was our life savings, and I didn't want no yard ornament. I didn't want bragging rights. I care less about that. The old me problem, man, this is serious. I got kids in here. I just want to make my money back. If I made my money back, I was happy. And things just started evolving. I told you, even until the time I signed those loan papers, I was still looking for a full-time job. So, well, great paying job. I was willing to move to Detroit. People were trying to leave Detroit at the time. Oh, I still had 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but it kept pulling on me, even when I ran from it. And I just kept surrendering, and become a student, learning, failing, getting back up. I don't have a problem saying about failure. I think true failure is when you quit. Failure to me is like, it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out, but I still learned a lot. So I don't beat myself about that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to try. I don't want the fact that I did not try. Because like my fork in the road when I went to my wife and I said, if I don't get us a shot, I'm going to beat myself up wondering what could have happened. I'm going to look back 5, 10 years when I wonder what could have happened. And she said, okay. It wasn't like that in the beginning now. Because even when I came to a similar speech, she was like, oh, you making moves, you making decisions for us? I was like, unless you got something else in mind, because I'm open ears. That's how I got hurt and stuff. So yeah, it's way more details in there, but we'll spend an hour just talking about that. And people been encouraging me to do this, but I'm going to write a book. I never want to do it. It's not a dirty laundry. It's not, woe is me, but I have too many people saying, man, you need to put this stuff down. And I think it's going to be way more in depth. It's going to talk about a lot of stuff, even outside of barbecue. I haven't got a title, but I'm going to hold up on that. I tell you off the camera, but I feel pushed to do it, like my motivational Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
They came from something. I can be in front of that big camera all day. That phone bothered me, but I learned through therapy. I worry about what people thought about me. But I had to come to realization, they're going to talk about me anyway, and the ones I think talking about me are not talking about me. So it doesn't matter. People's opinion, what helped me with that when we opened the restaurant, the Google reviews. You got to have tough skin, but you got to know who you are too. If it's true, fix it. If not, ask them how to fix it. If it's not true, keep it pushing. And I take that stuff serious. That's when the whole different lens of me come out. From that soft-spoken person, like, I stand on that because I take pride in the work, not competing against anyone. Do we measure up each time? Do we approach it the same way? Because I'm measuring back to that person that was making that season. And now working with people, you don't get the same passion. But if I'm paying, I want you to have the same professionalism.
Yeah, you can't teach passion. I can teach. I mean, I can teach you all the mechanics, right? But I can't teach you attitude. I can't teach you how to deal with people kindly. I can't I can't teach you to want excellence.
And that's what I said. I say great excellence. And people thought I was silly, just ignorant. But when people get to know me and they want what I have or some of it, first I point them to God. And then when they were like, okay, I get that, but give me some nuts and bolts. I'm like, okay, I'm finna tell you. And most people don't want to do that because it requires something of you. What you put in is what you get out. You reap what you sow. You got to put everything in there. You got to become obsessed. You don't sacrifice your family, but you're going to miss out on family time. But when they see the results, me going to Texas, me going to Asheville, me going to other places, and when you come back better than you left, or actually when my wife surprised me to go to Austin and the love they gave me, which they didn't have to, and I went out and bust my butt, they made me take a day off. And she's like, whoa, you really can't bust your butt. Like the respect they gave me and the love they still give me now, I went down there and did what I said I was going to do, and I was thankful for that. And I never want a person to ever regret giving me an opportunity. I never want them to look back and say I shouldn't have did that for them. I might make them scratch their head, because I make me scratch my own head sometimes. But I never want to look back and be like, I shouldn't have done it. They be like, boy, I had one dude, like Mike and Mark Black, who doing peak things. They're like, boy, you inspire me. Brian from Rodney Scott, people I look up to, they be like, boy, you inspire me. And at first I thought that was being kind. They're like, nah, dude, like you don't know anyone. You down here to mess up us. And when everybody taking content, I'm over there trying to learn how to work that shovel. I'm over there asking questions and stuff. They tell me, sit down, like, no, I want to learn if that's all right. I wash dishes, but if I can, I want to learn that too. And one thing I learned when you're talking to people can't teach how to be great because it might not work for you the way it worked for them. But one thing I learned from a person who charged hundreds of dollars just to talk to them an hour, gave me a free hour and a half while I was in D.C. with my family on vacation. He's not in barbecue at all, but he's a very business mind leader type of guy. And his followers on Facebook are not much, a couple hundred, but he's a very plugged in guy. So you don't judge a book by its cover or their followings. But when you ask a person, this is something I learned from a pastor. When you ask, can you tell me about the hard times, how you got through them, or what's something you would do different? People open up because you will encounter those. And you might can't use the same formula, but it lets you know that you're not the only one going through this. And people will open up and give you way more time that you thought you was going to get. And one thing I learned, you got to apply, even if it don't work, because if you don't apply it, they're like, well, you think you're better than me? Because I've done that. So you have to go through the steps, because usually they be like, well, let me see who I can talk to. They'll go above and beyond that you expected. Because they can see a piece of themselves in you. And that's the connection. That's how you help anybody. And 9 times out of 10, they don't want anything in return. They say pay it forward. I'm glad you see you doing. I had people message me like, hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing great. Hey, how you doing? But I'm struggling. How you doing? Well, I'm great. I'm going through something, but I'm good. But hey, I'm here. And in the beginning, I would call them all the time, text them all the time, and they reply back. But when I need them the most, they hit right back. These people got it. They don't need me for anything. And I'm like, thank you, God. So a lot has been said, but it's just something about seeing somebody go for it. Because they can see a piece of themselves in you. And sometimes you inspire them, which it took me a couple years to really believe it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But they're like, nah, dude. Like, I remember when I first met you, you didn't know anybody. You was a little nervous, but once you got in, you was in. Like, I wish you could stay. I wish I could clone some people like you. And it wasn't I was doing special. I was just dead serious. I know I had people counting on me.
Yeah. So you start, we didn't really talk about the beginning of the seasonings, but the seasonings came before the restaurant.
Way before the restaurant.
The seasonings come before catering?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That's right. My pop died in 08. My brother died in 09. The season came in
2010.
2010. A tribute to them.
Yeah. Seasonings in 2010. Restaurant in 2014? No. Catering?
Catering 2014.
Catering?
Restaurant in 2018.
Okay. So you're catering, and I'm curious, what was the lead? You just burn out on catering and want to have a solid place to do business? Like, why do you decide to just do a brick and mortar?
That's how I was pushed. The direction he had before me. I was trying to be cheap and simple as possible. In front of the old Home Depots and Lowe's, they little hot dog stand.
Yeah.
I wanted one of those. The guy who built them died 2 years before I wanted to pull the trigger. Who was building those things? They was already DHEC approved and everything. I wanted a food truck, but the smoker I wanted wouldn't fit on there, and you'd have a commissary kitchen, and wouldn't nobody let me put a smoker on their property that I could afford to rent from and share space. I tried to be cheap as possible, lean as possible, but I tried to play it safe. He would not allow you to play anything safe. Now, he say be reckless, but you're going to have to trust him. You really got to walk by faith. You don't see the staircase. You just see a step. Sometimes you see a cloud, and he'll tell you a step, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you can see the way, it's not really faith, right?
No. You
can't, there's no way through the Red Sea.
Just imagine the Red Sea with them walls of water and you walking through. Even though you see it split, could you imagine the sound of it?
Oh no!
You
Well, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. There's no way through a fiery furnace.
And
So, like, if you can see the way, the amount of faith required is zero.
And you got to renew that faith, because even when they got to the other side, they still was doubted. There's times I doubted, but he showed me himself so many times I don't doubt. Now I'm like, just don't let me get ahead of you.
Right. Don't run ahead.
Don't run ahead. Don't get behind or run ahead.
So, you say you were pushed. You believe you're pushed by the Lord to do brick.
I know her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But what did that look like from okay, I've been doing catering. Now it's time to go.
The catering never really took off, and it did was a lot of work doing it out the house, caused problems in the house, and I feel like I was still trying to play it safe. And I saw people who did it the same way and really took off, so I was trying to copy them. That's not the path he had for me. And a lot of people are still doing it that way. And they come to me asking how I did it. And a lot of them knew my story. They remember me selling seasons, not the car. It's just that was the requirement of us being in existence.
Did you want to have a restaurant?
No. I said I ran for my dad had a restaurant. It was more like drive-in dinosaur. I hated it. I loved it when I was a teenager. I started working at 12 years old washing dishes. And I got on the grill a couple years later, and I lived in there, especially in the summertime. No. That's on record. No. People that know me from a kid.
Why not?
Because it was too demanding. My pot was too hard, and it seemed like the reward wasn't there. Because back then, it's not the way it is now. The business mindset was there, but it wasn't as educating. You had a lot of family members, and a lot of restaurants catered to the community, but the community wasn't there for them when times got hard. Or people's emotions, the business savvy wasn't there. And that's one thing I thank Mike and Mark Black for, who really helped me understand. Like people like Chad and Mr. Mike Mills, late great man, 'cause that man poured a lot of me. In an hour and a half conversation, I had like 6 pages of notes front and back. God rest his soul, great man. And Miss Amy Mills, his daughter, who's still around now. But it's a lot of education that I wish my dad had, that he knew. This wasn't his season, his time. From your location, your hours, the product you're putting out, it's a lot more to it. If you're paying attention, you're not that lit, your food gonna get better over time. But business is very, very important. And I love numbers. I love business, even though I didn't know much about it. And that's something, like I met with people today about better business, food distributors. With all these rising meat costs, how can we build a long-term relationship without having to look over my back and build something? And with AI now, used the right way, it's beautiful. Not to have smoke and mirrors and put out false advertisement, but really dig in the weeds and understand your numbers. That's what growth at.
Well, we live in a different, obviously we live in a very different time than when you were washing dishes.
Oh, yes.
Like, so, barbecue today, and with the rise of social media and everybody sharing and YouTube, all that, like, I hate to even say it this way, but I don't know a better way to say it. Like, barbecue is sexy.
I'm gonna win.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Barbecue is sexy. Barbecue is cool. It wasn't cool when you were 12. It was just, but now it's a totally different game.
Well, from my perspective, the people that pay their dues, and people even now paying their dues, younger, older than me, really have a passion for it. Some get in for the fame and the love. It's a totally, and back then people had a lot of family members or people grandfathered in that did it. Some got taken care of, some didn't, especially from racial standpoints. But even with that being said, it wasn't across the board, but it did happen. But that changed, and now it's about appearance. Yeah. You got people arguing even down about a plate they never ate because it looks good. So like back in the day, your business card was your currency. Then the website was your currency. Now it's the followers. You got people that don't even have experience, but they make it look good. They done took off and never look back until something really happens. But barbecue is an extension of who you are and everything that's poured into you. That's why I think it's so communal, because everybody has a story to tell. In some groups, grilling a hot dog is barbecue. I'm not here to argue that. I'm not here to argue about pellet, gas, just offset for me. I had people say, boy, you can do it, but it's going to weigh you down over time. A lot of people they left the offset to the gas because they didn't get sleep at night. It was easier. It's more, you can do more, you can cook more.
Well, there's a place for them.
It's a give and take too.
There's a place for it, like, and it depends on your personality. A dad, a dad who's got a 6 and a 8-year-old, He didn't have time to just sit on the back patio for 8 hours and smoke a few cigars and drink bourbons while he smokes a pork butt. But with the rise of, an electric or a pellet smoker, you plug it in, you dial the temp, you hit the button, you put it on, you walk away, and you can go spend time with your family, do whatever you need to do. And then there's the people like me who like the artistry of like legit. I don't know if legit barbecue is the right word, because like barbecue is a certain way of cooking and temperature control, but there is an artistry to fire management.
Oh, I think
and
so.
Temperature
it's
control.
A skill set. It's a skill.
Dude, I think I'm talking to a barbecue. I'm talking to a legit pitmaster here. So, but my opinion is, I feel like the hardest part of barbecue is fire management.
When we hire pit guys, my OG guys there, I say, what's the 3 things about barbecue? Fire management, fire management, fire management. And that's the most important thing in cooking meat, on anything you're cooking, regardless of what you're cooking it on. But it's nothing wrong with your personal opinion, what's a purist or traditional in your eyes, that's your opinion. For me, barbecue is based on where you at, your fuel source, what you're cooking with, and the ingredients you got. So that's why I'm not so tripping about it. But any person that got the guts to go out there and start any business to provide for their family, I tip my hat to them. Even if I don't like their food, I still respect them. It takes a lot to jump out there off that porch, off that couch.
Absolutely. Whatever industry.
Yes.
To have an idea and say, okay, I'm going to go for it, make it happen. And I've said this before, I think everybody should dream. Everybody should dream, but there is a big difference between the dreamers and the doers.
And you know what got me a reaction? When people said my little season and my little business made me upset. I said, your stuff little. Sometimes I get upset like your mama, but I don't do that now because people lost their mama. You lose your life these days. But especially when I was growing, you talk about mama. I don't care.
Always about my mama.
Yeah, but I don't do that now. But nothing's little. You're not gonna say my stuff. Even the word small business for tax benefits, I love saying that. But well, it's big in my. When I was in the car selling that season, I saw it on tractor trailer trucks. I said I'm gonna have a Bobby's barbecue on the moon. If you're gonna dream big.
Yeah. Everybody should dream.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's
what you got?
How much time you got?
We got about 30 more minutes.
Okay. 30 minutes.
Yeah. Sorry, I get to run in my mouth.
No, you're good, man. It's all good. It's a casual conversation podcast. That's what we do.
It's a good stick. I don't think I had one of these like this.
It's a good cigar, man. I like sun-grown stuff. The last one of those I smoked, I enjoyed, but it didn't have as much spice as I expected from a sun-grown tobacco.
I got an 858 sun. I got a couple of them at the house. I make sure I put you one to the side. It's the same tobacco as the other 858s. Sun-grown wrapper comes with a cedar sleeve on it.
Yeah, that one had a cedar sleeve on it.
Okay.
I just took it off.
Well, it's probably the same.
It's the same. Probably it's the same sleeve with a red silk bottom.
It's the exact same cigar, just a smaller ring gauge.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's different, but this is good too now.
Yeah. All right. So for your person, and I, by the way, for everybody listening, I have been to Bobby's Barbecue, and it is awesome. I mean, it is stupid good. So my hat's off to you, man.
Thank you.
And I'm born and raised in Texas. I'm a Texas man, Texas style barbecue.
That's the ultimate compliment. That's better than saying you're the best, because the best don't mean anything to me.
Well, the best is subjective.
It's subjective. But to get thumbs up for people from Texas is the highest compliment.
There you go. Are you red oak, white oak?
Both.
Both?
Perfect world. Yeah, perfect world, because it's plentiful here. Perfect world, pecan, and oak. When I won first place in barbecue, brisket, that's the only time I won first place. I did competitions. I started a competition before I even did catering, because I wanted to see was it really good, because your friends will tell you what you want to hear, especially when you're giving away for free. My brother-in-law, I was using pecan. My brother-in-law brought some oak up, and even my wife was like, this taste is amazing. She don't really care for barbecue. I started on hickory. It was strong, but I loved it. You could smell the smoking end for about 2 days. Pecan, I love the flavor profile, but it didn't burn as hot or burn as long. But oak was plentiful all the time.
Yeah.
And it burned milder, but burned hotter and longer. And it kind of found as part of white, post oak and white oak was in the same family.
Mm-hmm. What's the difference in barbecuing? What's the difference between red oak and white oak?
I think red oak is a little bit more meaty. The logs, when you split them, they twist and turn. The white oak is more mild. It's easy to split. It burns consistent. They don't spike or take a while to catch on. That's basically if it's seasoned or not. But for me, it's that it has a mild seasoning, mild flavor, because I got 3 components of the barbecue. I have smoke, meat, seasoning. I want you to get a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to overpower anything. And the sauce is optional. It's like a great steakhouse. Like I love A1 and 157 together. Even at home, I cook a steak and taste it, see how it tastes without it, but I'm still gonna dip it in it.
I love A1 steak sauce, but I like a steak. I like a steak that I can eat no sauce required.
When I go to Hall's, I was still ordered on the side, the sauces, but I'll eat probably a quarter of that steak without it. Now, McKendrick's in Atlanta that my father-in-law told me about, my wife took me, that steak was so good, I didn't get to ask for it. I was licking the plate.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to grill steaks, the way I like to do it is with, I'll start my charcoal chimney, I'll dump it in, then I'll throw a few sticks of oak on top. Let that go for a little bit, and then I'm gonna throw the steaks on it. I'm gonna season my steaks, and then I'll probably finish them. I'll let them rest, and I'll finish them with some flake salt just before serving.
I'm a cast iron skillet, man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Are you gonna sear both sides, finish in the oven?
I have, but I worked it down and keep it in that cast iron all the way through.
It's a nice crust.
Nice crust, and it's still red inside and juicy. Now, if it's too thick, you want to go in the oven. It's too thin, don't take it to the oven. But that cast iron skillet make bologna taste like a steak.
You smoked bologna?
No, I do it at the restaurant. People love it, but I'm talking about you can fry a piece of bologna and get that little black on there. Oh man, you'll take that over a burger any day.
Fried bologna sandwich?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't the whole menu. I was smoked bologna.
No, it's not on that menu, but I do it for the staff, and I did it for certain events. I did it for a 5-year anniversary, and I did it for Euphoria events and stuff. Because people love it's like nostalgia.
Yeah.
And they don't penetrate. It's really the look. Now, if I can smoke it, then skillet and put it out there like that, then it'd be even better. But just something about it. And when you smoke it right, you got to scar it. And then you get that smoke, you see the smoke ring and stuff on it. But when it gets heated all the way through, it enhances the flavor of the actual bologna without overpowering with smoke. It's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Fried bologna sandwich. It's been a long time since I had one.
I eat cold bologna, but yeah.
Cold, man, come on now. Cold bologna.
Cold hot dogs, cold pizza, all that.
Cold pizza is great.
I eat cold chicken sometimes, if it ain't too bulky.
All right, I know you said that, this is all, a lot of this stuff is opinion stuff, but could you taste the difference on a blind taste test between barbecue that was from an offset smoker versus a pellet smoker?
Yes. Cause the smoke is not gonna be as intense, and then looking at, unless I'm blindfolded, it might be a little tricky, but looking at the bark ain't gonna be the same because I've done it. I've been blessed to do some cooking classes during COVID. I've been blessed to work with Microsoft, Cisco Systems, and a variety of other people through partnership with other entertainment groups, but it's a difference. But you still put out some good stuff. Like even a gas smoker, it has too much smoke. For short cooks, gas smokers are good, but the way the gas smoker is set up, once it gets to a certain temperature, it shuts off the oxygen. What happens then, you get dirty smoke. Dirty smoke is good in the beginning or short cooks, but through the whole cook, you have that belch effect, or that rancid taste sometimes. That's that dark smoke. It's that black smoke.
It's like soot.
Like soot. Yeah. Almost like soot.
And you don't want that when you're smoking. I mean, that's not ideal.
But now some people know how to manipulate that firebox and keep it open and keep a live flame the whole time. I talk to people who's been good at it. I never done it, but from what I can see online and by me knowing what I know of them, it's ways around, but you burn more wood. Think about the gas smoke, you don't use as much wood. That's because wood, especially now, is expensive. So you got to think of all the trade-offs. The pellets, like I play around now with pellet smokers. Just having fun around the house because you can't go take a nap smoking a brisket. And it's what's your expectations, realistic expectations, and what you're trying to achieve in the cook. That makes sense? So that's the trade-off. But the blind says, like, even like bourbon, Buffalo Trace is my everyday drink, but believe it or not, I've been blindfolded in times I can't tell. So I'm not the type of person like, oh yeah, I can tell because I've been called out on it at a cigar lounge. But yes.
Yeah, well, that's my I'm not saying you can't make good barbecue in a pellet smoker. You can.
You can make some in the oven.
You can. I just don't think I think stuff that is on an offset smoker or like like what you, of course, the smoker over at Bobby's is enormous, and it's
right.
It's not the same. The smoke is deeper, the flavors are richer. I think it just produces a superior product.
Well, fire management is a way of parts.
That's the thing.
Product for me.
That's what I struggle with the most. I have an offset smoker in the backyard, and I did some sausage the other day that a gentleman gave me. I left them in too long, and one of the things I didn't think about is we were early summer, and I'm building my fire in the firebox, getting things ready, and it was too late, and I'm like, I don't have to work as hard because it's hot outside.
Right.
And that is going to affect the smoker. In the wintertime, if you're doing barbecue in the winter and you're doing an offset smoker, you're going to have to work harder.
The wind, the rain, you become a weatherman.
Yeah, that steel gets cold.
We checking humidity, the pressure, all that.
Yeah, and so, before I knew it, it was like, it was like 350 in there. And I'm like closing the chimney and everything, trying to tamp it down, but I just
that's all your senses too, because you gotta know about smell, feel, listening, taste when you get to that point. But one thing that really made my barbecue take off when I went to Texas about 3 years into cooking, taking notes. I didn't take notes, even though the video said take notes. When I went to Texas, Terry Black's, everybody took notes, from the beginners to the OGs, and they had a bunch of those little with the composite notebooks, whatever you get with the black and white covers on them. They had a ton of those notebooks.
Oh, like the moleskin?
Yeah, the moleskins, what we call them. But composition notebooks. Anyway, but the people took notes, and when I started doing that, that's when it really took out, because you can't remember everything. Unless you're doing it every day, all day, you're not gonna remember. Even then, you send a reference back to, because the meat changed and the weather changed.
Yeah. What's your opinion of the biscuit test on a smoker?
That's amazing. Mr. Mike Mills taught me that. That's how you know your hot spot's at.
It's a legit thing.
It's a legit thing. It shows your hot spot's at.
Yeah.
I tell everybody that. Even on the gas smoker, like pellet smoker, it tells you your hot spot's at. Two smokers from the same guy gonna cook different. Same wells, look identical. That's the hot spots. You gotta know where they're at.
I mean, there's so many. Well, like how thick is my steel? How hot is my fire? How good is this weld? Is it, so like you said, so the biscuit test is a legit thing.
And when it's pouring down rain or snowing, your gauge is gonna be low, but you wonder why, if temperature wouldn't go up, but you're looking at firebox, that firebox is raging, then you put a tent over that temperature gauge when rain ain't pouring on it, snow, they just gonna shoot up. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm burning up everything. And plus you'll smell it. But even before you smell the burn, you can tell how the fat bubbling up on top. It's cooking too fast. It's like a bunch of little white heads on there. It's cooking too fast. That's all the lessons that you can't get from a video or hands-on unless you round somebody or you learn it, but you have something to reference to. You gotta have a reference point. So you gotta have a level head out there too. I don't even drink if I'm smoking. If I'm grilling, yeah, because it's quick and easy. But all the times I've been smoking, I probably drank 3, no more than 4 times. I mean, one time my wife told me to drink because I didn't know about green wood at the time. I was about to have a fit, lighter fluid and everything, using torches. And the wood had water bubbling out the end of the stick, and I didn't know no better. Foaming and literally water.
Yeah, well, you bring up something that I've always, just kind of argued with people about, like, well, I don't understand. And look, there's all kinds of smokers, and some people are using wood chips. Don't soak your wood chips.
No, the bag tell you to. I used to.
Don't do that.
And the guy told me, he said, think about this. You taking some soaked wood chips with water and throwing on a hot coal bed. It makes ashes, it make your temperature go down. They say it gives you more smoke. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
You don't do it. You do wood chips or wood chunks. I'd rather do chunks. You put half of it's on the fire, on the coal bed, half of it's not, so it can smolder.
Well, here's the deal. If the goal of wood chips is to create smoke. In order to create smoke, you have to get to the state of pyrolysis through the heat. So that, and the smoke is the natural expansion of the fibers and the gases and the oils and the wood coming out.
That's where you get your tasters from.
That's the smoke. In order to get that, you have to get rid of any water that is in the wood. In order to get rid of water, you have to create steam. So if you're soaking your wood chips, you're not creating more smoke, you're creating steam. And then eventually that wood chip can start to smoke.
What can I tell you? It's like a gas turbine. You got cool air coming in, combusting, the explosion spinning that turbine, the blades inside. You got a generator starting, but they're combusting, either using gas, oil, or natural gas. That's why it clicked to me. And you got exhaust coming out.
Yeah.
Simple principles with look, but that outset is the truest form of that theory in place in my mind, because I came from gas turbines. So yeah.
All right, man. So what is this? We're still hunting the barbecue questions here. What's the best meat for backyard beginners to smoke?
Something quick. Dark meat, leg quarters. Dark meat is more forgiving. It's a quicker cook. Fire management as soon as you step up pork butt, because it's so forgiving. Then the ribs, the brisket, don't be intimidated by it. But if you don't have fire management, don't worry about trimming and cutting. That takes time. Is your knife sharp? Is the brisket cold enough? But don't be intimidated by it. I have people say they cooked the brisket for the first time, it was good. I used to didn't believe it, but one or two people I do trust, but most people I don't, because mine sucked for a while. My first one was
That's why it's the king of barbecue.
But because you got 2 different pieces of meat. But people who have a strong cooking background, a grilling background, or smoking, it might come easy to them because they know what they're looking for tenders. I didn't know to keep pushing it. I just didn't know any better. So to a trained mind or a more experienced mind, it might come easy. But to the average Joe, no. I would say do leg quarters, dark meat chicken, because with white meat, especially chicken wings, you actually got to get it hotter for the skin to get crispy, not to get chewy.
Well, that's the thing. I love to
fry.
smoke turkey, but if you're going to smoke a turkey, which you can, smoke it and then finish it off and finish it in the oven, or if you can get your smoker up hot enough, because that skin's just going to be leather.
I tell you this, I've done whole turkeys and came off watching Aaron Franklin online, very simple brine, very simple technique. I just so long wrap it, throw butter in it, wrap it, whatever. But once you understand fire management, the easiest, most expensive cook you ever do is a beef rib. A rack of beef rib, especially a 3-bone plate, it's easy. You set it, forget it.
I love
probe it when they go through like a pick through hot butter, they're ready. Smoked turkey breast, once you get fire management down. But beginners, I would say dark meat chicken because it's more forgiving. You can do legs or thighs. Because leg quarters, the joint can take a little bit longer. If you see any blood, people freak out. Pork, chops, tenderloins, you want pink. If not, you can cook it in barbecue sauce. If you shoot past that temperature, it's going to be dry.
One of my favorite things to do is to...
How's that opus, if your mama asks?
Oh, this is excellent. This is really good. I've enjoyed the whole thing. I love indirect grilling a pork loin. That's one of my favorite things to do.
The thing I love cooking on the most now is that Weber Kettle Deluxe. I sear it, and then I throw it on the cold side, the indirect side, get that thing as hot as it can go. That temperature gave me, went around probably twice. And have the meat up on the damper thing, with the open it up.
Yeah.
And man, that meat will come off so juicy.
Yeah.
It's so flavorful.
I was gonna agree with you that if you're not into barbecuing, you want to try. I think your first step is chicken legs, especially thighs. Thighs are almost impossible to overcook, but and they're my favorite part of the chicken. They're the most flavorful, tender. They've got a good fat content.
It's forgiving,
and I love smoked chicken. All right, sauce or no sauce?
I would say no sauce, and has as a condiment, as a dip or drizzle, but no sauce.
So you're not a guy that likes to mop his barbecue.
I do the whole hogs, and I do a little bit of sauce on our ribs, on our pork ribs, as part of the process. But I had people argue with me and say it's a dry rub, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna take the membrane off. Once I take the membrane off, it's competition because they're so picky. But what we do, I have people arguing, ain't no membrane on that. I'm like, okay. It's not the one, it's the wizard, man. And I call myself Barbecue Jedi because that's just my alter ego coming out. And my goal is to always be Master Yoda. I don't think I'm him, and I'm cool with it because you know why? It keeps me growing and learning.
Yeah.
I'm like Obi-Wan.
Is it necessary to wrap your brisket?
Yes, sir. I have not. And you better have a good cut with enough fat in there because I don't dry them out. I did the boats. I done there with a teaching person in Maryland how to do it in the oven with the boat technique. I'm trying out techniques. But for me, wrapping that brisket is important is when you wrap it, though. You wrap it too soon, it'll steam the bark off. The bark won't get to set. It had too much liquid in there, but pulling it just right. But I love wrapping it. That's just my thing. If you wrap it at full, take it to almost the very end because that'd be like roast beef. It still tastes
that's
good.
one thing people need to understand. And like, I mean, I like barbecue.
Or if you're running behind time, pushing it, then full, yeah. Full.
Yeah, because the deal is, for people that don't know, and I don't know who all listens to this show, but for people that don't know, if you wrap your barbecue in butcher paper is breathable. If you wrap it in foil, it is not, and you're going to create steam, which will create a more of a pot roast texture.
And you can see the juice bubbling on the side of that brisket when it's wrapped in butcher paper. You got like it's like braising it almost, like in the oven.
Yeah. All right, so you want to wrap the brisket according to Tay Nelson.
We wrap everything so the big.
And he should know. Fat cap up or down?
Up.
Agreed.
All the time it's down when your heat, like certain pellets, have it up on it's beating the meat up. I prefer pork butt fat cap down for personal because I like it's almost like a semi-jerky taste to it, texture, but not dry. That's just personal preference, but fat side up. And on my pellet, I put a water pan to keep that thing from getting blasted. It don't get the smoke ring I like, but I can still keep it fat side up.
Yeah. Meat thermometer or feel technique?
All the
Just
above.
you know.
Well, I got one in my truck, a ThermoWorks thermopan. It's worth its weight in gold. And I wait they go on sale. I have open box. I buy like 4 or 5 of them. It's like $100 a thing. If I'm giving somebody a barbecue set, because I just feel led to do it, I give them a thermopan, the seasonings, and the sauce. Use that apron or something. Or I give them the knives they need to trim and cut. But that's a must. It ain't all thermometer. Cooking ribs, I don't probe them at all. Brisket, yes, because sometimes it plays tricks on you. But you use all your senses. You use all your tools. Put that way.
Yeah, and I suppose it's different in smoking, in barbecuing meats. Like if I'm grilling a steak, I don't use it. I've done it enough.
I do.
You know, I look at it, I'll push it. You know, I kind of know where it's at. But hey, you do it enough and you learn, right?
I still it's times I couldn't find my thermometer because one of the kids was probably doing God knows with it, and I had to guess it. And I ended up cutting in the steak, but I don't like poking meat. I like flipping it. But I think all those tools in there say some heat gloves. That's what you need.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got to touch that thing with some nitro or vinyls on top, whatever you call it, plastic glove, whatever you have. Because that thing will burn you up to your neck, down your spine. You have nerve energy you know existed. Make you say some words you know existed. Yeah. You make a new cuss word, a new language.
That's very
Sound like Yosemite Sam out there. Like the Tasmanian devil.
What right now do you think is the most overrated barbecue trend?
I ain't gonna say overrated. I think it's the oxtail because it's expensive. And it took me a while to get it, but it's so expensive, man. People want it, but they don't want to pay for it. But I don't think it's overrated because I've done it and done it right after about 7 errors. And I mean, 7 different cooks. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, man, you drink the juice out the pan. You fish them in the pan. Some people say they don't, but I have to fish them out in the pan. They still have to look. I ain't gonna say overrated. I think it's something that's hyped up and it's very expensive. And one time they used to give that stuff away. My mama told me her dad, they used to go to the meat market, they give them to her. Like literally give them to her. But other than that, what I do love is all the fusion from all the different backgrounds of people cooking, from Asian to Latin to German. And a lot of offset smoke, Central Texas was German Czech roots, especially with the meat markets and stuff. And my wife got German Czech roots. But you got the African background, all this, the big melting pot. And I love that. From the sticky ribs to the Puerto Rican infusion to the Latin to the to the low country, to the hill country. Like, you got so much infusion in it, to Canada, to all over the world, Sweden, all that stuff. You know, like, I love that. And I think that's trendy because people get to really be themselves. Like, this is, they have connection to it. It's a connection there.
Yeah.
And I think it's a
Beautiful. You should make a,
especially to their sides.
You should make a barbecue pulled pork Cuban sandwich.
Why you say that?
We're just talking about fusion.
Yeah, because I love
Cuban sandwich.
I love Cubans. Yeah, that's why.
Oh, I know, but do one with like mustard, pickles, and barbecue pulled pork.
Yes. Because most of those guys use roasted pork, which is delicious, but it's in the oven.
Yes.
So put that smoke on there. That's something I'm thinking about, because I know like the owner of Tropical Grill, him and his wife, and a few other people who I met through the restaurant from Cuban descent or even Puerto Rican descent, they had their own spin on it. Even a little Venezuelan had their take on it. Especially what they're going through right now. God, please watch what the people in Venezuela with the earthquakes. But anyway, how to get off track. But I love that, and I love, that's what I love about partnering up and mesh and stuff. Yeah. And especially the size. You see a lot of that heritage come out in them sides and sauces. Yeah. Or the way they played it.
Yeah. Well, when I was at Bobby's, we're gonna wrap it up here because I know you about to have to skedaddle.
That's part of being a parent, like you was talking about.
Yeah. I had the jalapeno sausage sandwich. Dude, come on, man.
That came from Terry Black's. We just tweaked it.
That stuff is dangerous.
Can I share something about those guys? Sometimes they get flack, sometimes they don't, and I'm not here to debate that. But when I was down there, multiple trips, and the general manager time didn't like it, but me and him became friends after the fact. They literally gave me their whole cookbook and said, "Here you go, but don't share it." And to this day, I have those pictures in my cloud. I don't have them on my phone now. That meant the world to me, man. I'd tear up if I ain't careful. And those dudes, I need to have their picture up there on the wall. They laugh when I tell them.
Well, when you start doing things and you're passionate about it, and people, as you meet people in the industry of the things that you're doing, they're going to be able to tell if you're passionate about it or if you're just playing. And the people that can tell that you're passionate about it and you're going to do it, they want to help you.
And I agree with that 100%. Plus, those people know you're not coming for clicks and stuff. Like Rodney Scott, that dude is salt of the earth. Aaron Franklin, Miguel, Elliot Miles, Brian Furman, them people that really have poured into me. But of lately, Rodney Scott, you might have heard some stuff out there, and it's not of his own doing, but from the first day I met him and Sam met at the restaurant a couple of times. You saw him on a couple posts. When I say a brother that went above and beyond, or like with him and Eric Church, they did that collaboration at Chiefs in Nashville. To my man that really, event that was for him and Eric Church, he rolled the red carpet out for me. I never had that, man. And to this day, I call him big brother. I tell him on the phone, "I love you." He says it bad, like, a lot of people on TV says it's brotherly love, and it's sold that way, but a lot of people not like that, man. It's a competition sport. It's what can they learn from, and they talk about you behind your back. And I'm not trying to put a sour note on this, but I experienced that. You know, on time it hurts when you gave it to them, they don't give it back, but you have to realize a lot of people don't have the capacity of really what it means, because it's a give and take.
Yeah, I see that.
A lot of people are not like that. They say it on TV, and people say, "Oh, it's a brotherly love." Man, people talk cold cash trash about you. But when that camera come, this is my brother, I love him. So that camera leave, they'll walk around the corner and be like, "Oh, F this dude," and like really mean it. and I guess it was an eye opener for me more than anything.
Yeah. Well, there's just what you're saying there. Not everybody is the same on camera as they are off camera. But I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Napoleon complex.
You've met me twice.
Yeah.
I met you once at Southern Roots. I came to your house to help you with some.
That alone, you went above and beyond.
Well,
man.
and then now you're here, but this is who I am, no matter whether I'm filming an episode or the camera's off. I'm the same guy.
But that's the person I saw at Southern Roots, and the person came to my house was even above and beyond. I got emotional. I told you that day when I went to the restaurant, I was like, on a whole, like an out-of-body experience. Like, dude, I went from like, get it done to the point like, man, don't worry about it. You like, no. And then when you figured it out, you were so jacked up. That's that brotherhood or sisterhood. There's some women in the same way. They get it out the mud. They really want you to win. But that's what I see. That's that common thread. That's that true, genuine person. I saw that. I'm not saying I'm in your house, but I saw that. I had people come to my house, say they experts. Some say not so much, but didn't give it. They were so distracted or they had other stuff, other obligations. But and no knock to them because they gave it their best shot. But for a person that come down and didn't know me from anything, you didn't charge me a dime.
I'm just trying to help.
And that showed. And it shows even now. So it makes you want to give it back because you be around people who've been to the mountaintop, that's been out there, and they treat you that way. That's what I want to be like that.
Well, look, people,
not be them, but be like that.
People have helped me, and I want to help people. And if you just help people without expecting anything in return,
And I hate name dropping because usually I go home, it's like, oh, I forget so-and-so. But they know my heart, the ones that really know me. But God had used a lot of people to get me here. And I had a man tell me that because I believe in the word. A man prophesied to me before I went to the restaurant. He said, you're going to learn in half the time. God going to put people in your life. And I believed it, but did I really believe it? And when I look back, my God, I even reached out to that individual. That same man told me I was going to get that job at GE, the one I was going after. The 7 tries, I didn't get it. He apologized. I said, no. If you feel God told you that, wasn't nothing wasted. He said, I appreciate that. He was an elder. And anyway, nothing is wasted. Romans 8:28. All things work for the good. For those who love him are called according to their purposes.
Yeah.
And you got to take the good with the bad. The good makes you appreciate, and the bad pulls you closer to him if you allow it.
Yeah, no, but you have to allow it, and you have to understand that God allowed something in your life for whatever reason. The reason doesn't really matter why, because you're probably never going to find out.
No,
why.
part of it was being ignorant.
Well,
he was like, apple thing, reroute. I kept going.
Yeah, it might be self-inflicted. It was. But there's an opportunity there for you to learn something God is trying to teach you, and for you to mature and grow as either a Christian, an adult, or both.
And even with me, you don't have to be a Christian to be in my company because I'm not judging. I love on everybody because that's what I'm supposed to do. And I learn from people because I don't judge them. And on top of that, I mess up too.
To err is human.
Yes, and I want to be better, but I do make mistakes. But people learn more from me in your falls and your triumphs. It's how you get back up, how you handle your worst day to that moment or your worst moment. Because every day is a good day, but how you handle those moments and how can you come back the next day like it never happened? How you been so disappointed and heartbroken. We go through those seasons. I've gone through a season, even now. But either you going to a storm, in a storm, or coming out of a storm. But it's always to help someone else. Mm-hmm. That's why I go back to asking that person, what was some of your hardest moments or what some things you've done over? That's when they dig deep. They can reflect back.
Yeah.
People ask you, how much money you making? How many this and that? We don't have that many followers. But it's all organic. And for the ones that have, I'm not saying there's a phony. By no means. But I know my journey. I know how I got there. It's always God and the people put around me. You never see me stick my chest out because I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of, good and bad. But also, I love the fact I can do it by myself, even though I have him with me no matter what. But I love having a team because I get to pick brains. At the end of the day, rubber meets the road, it falls on me. But I love other people's insight. People see stuff I don't see.
Yeah.
They have a different view, and I love the younger people to the older people. They have a different view, a different take on things. And I don't want to miss the opportunity. Just to, even if it don't work for me, just how did you see that? I like watching people that cut hair. I'm like, how in the world that hair coming looking crazy? How did you see this? You guys think like a masterpiece, like the good Lord came and blessed them. Like I see guys who cut homeless people hair. It blows my mind. But see them people looking at that mirror and how they get teared up. I love watching that, man.
Yeah.
Or when we opened a restaurant, our food has gotten better since then, and thank God. But I had a guy when we first opened up with the sausage. And the sausage is way better. I did it. I taught DJ taught Devin. Devin got people from Germany. You know, people from Germany love their sausage. We had people come from ZF last week. We heard about the sausage and this and that. It was like, it's like back home or better. That's the ultimate compliment. That's like people from Texas say we got Texas barbecue. But anyway, what I'm about to get is a guy had some sausage at our restaurant we first opened. I'll never forget him. I don't know his name. It was a white guy. And I talk about color to paint a picture. He had a blonde ponytail. He said, you make those in the house. I said, yes, sir, how do you know? And they wasn't nowhere near as good as they are now. He said, man, I had them about 20-some years. I said, wings, and I was back home. And that man went like this right here. He didn't boo-hoo or nothing. He said, thank you, and walked off. Man, that messed me up. He said, thank you. I don't know what that man been through, don't know what he have.
Oh, it spoke to him.
Yeah, he said I had it since I've been back home. Also, the corn pudding that I was inspired by Truth Barbecue.
Bro, that corn pudding's off the chain.
From Truth Barbecue, this woman stood up in the restaurant. She was about 80-something years old. She said, it is so good. It reminded me of my grandmama's corn casserole. This woman was old enough to be my grandmama. But for her to say that,
that's a win.
That blows your mind. So people say, I love your food. It never gets old.
Yeah.
It never gets old. If it does, I'm going to stop.
Yeah, it won't.
It doesn't.
That's like people saying, I love your show.
Oh, the sweet.
Yeah. That's all. It's the highest compliment.
Like macaroni and cheese is our #1 seller, but the sweet potato crunch is second. When people brag about that, my wife came over there and she don't even like sweet potatoes. I was going to get Stouffer's like a lot of other people. I'm not going to call names, but they're like, no. We're going to do it. The barbecue sauce. My favorite barbecue sauce was Sweet Baby Ray's, who I got to meet, thank God, and Cattleman's Gold. I used to blend the two, half equal portion, 1 part each. She went online, found the recipe, did the Frankenstein to it. It's a hybrid. It's not a vinegary. It's not a ketchup. It's not tomato base. It's a hybrid. And they got that Bobby's all-purpose in there. Oh, and the corn pudding don't have Bobby's in it either, but everything else got Bobby's.
Man.
Some form of fashion.
Yeah. It's delicious. Everything at Bobby's is great. I know you got a split. So let's do this. At the end of the show, let us know, for the people watching or listening, where's Bobby's at? What are the hours? What's the website?
The Bobby's Barbecue is located on 1301 North Main Street, Fountain Inn, right off 385, exit 26, Harrison Bridge Road. Take it to North Main. It's right across from the DMV and Circle K if you need that for landmarks. We open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 11 to 8. We was going to travel on Sunday, half a day, but Sunday is sacred time. But if I have the staff you want to do it, we will do it for like 11 to 3. We have our sauces and our season. We have merchandise. We do offer classes at times. We have enough people sign up, but you go to Eat Bobby's. That's the website. That's the handles on social media, even YouTube. And from there, Motivational Monday, I have been blessed to do some motivational speaking. I've been from elementary schools up to colleges, even in prisons, even got to teach at a women's prison down in Greenwood. They're doing virtual cooking classes during COVID. Quick story, when I lost my pop in 08 was one thing. I lost my brother in 09. I was, same week my brother died, I was facing 30 years in prison. That's something we can talk about later time, or some interviews online on YouTube, or it'll be in the book one day. But only by the grace of God, I'm standing here. I was the one he left the 99 for. I'm the one that he loves so much. And one thing about it, God likes you. For the people that don't believe in God, he still loves you, but I'm not here to cast you into hell or hit you with a Bible, just to love on you if you allow me to. I don't care who you pray for. I don't care who you love. I don't care who you vote for. As long as you got some sense, Bobby's is welcome home. My grandparents raised me. We had grandmama's table. On Sunday, everybody came to eat. Even we didn't have much. We had Sunday dinner. Some of them cousins and aunts and uncles. I'm like, what you doing here now? But grandma said, leave them alone. That's the attitude we have. Everybody's welcome home. You know, I love giving hugs. I gave hugs during COVID. I had people that had their worst news or their best news come to Bobby. I had people who had no kids that got 3 kids. We located down the street is a graveyard, up the street is a nursing home and a hospital. You get some people coming in for the first time really dealing with life stuff. I had people who poured into me. I had people who cussed me out. People did this and that, but you still love on people. A couple people came back and apologized, which I thought it was coming back to shoot me or something. I don't know. I really was scared till I run. They came and found me and said they wise men will come back. But I had people to say, man, I just love your spirit. And some people say, what you got going on? I don't go in detail, so let me pray for you. I done pray for others. We had the train to stop. We had that happen many a time, but that guy Kemp and other people else have stopped the train. But that man, he said he prayed for us every time he come by there. we're a place where you can leave all that stuff outside the door because it's going to be waiting on you when you come in. This is a place we can all break bread together. And even though our food is good, our superpower is our customer service, how we love on people. This is a genuine, warm welcome. It's not artificial. It's really what you see is what you get. And if we make a mistake, we're going to make it right if you allow us to. But at the end of the day, let's learn, let's grow, and let's do life together because everybody's going through something. So if this plate of food, this customer service environment can take your mind off that for a minute or two or an hour, then we did our job. That's what Bobby's Barbecue is. That's what it continue to be as long as I'm breathing and God allows me to show up. We can do other locations. We have opportunities, but it's got to be right because everything has a cost. I don't know. People say, what's your 5-year plan? I got dreams and ambitions. I got other food concepts. But I want to make sure I'm not behind him, not in front with him. Make sure I'm not getting comfortable, but not getting anxious either. So walking in that spirit, because that's what I need. That's what I said I need. So I'm trying to walk it out. Not perfection, but upright, because that's what got me to the dance. That's what I'm gonna stay with at the dance. And people like yourself, and I appreciate this more, because since I met you to now, you've been a man of your word, and a lot of people don't do that. I'm not the type of person doom gloom. I'm a glass half full type of person. I do believe in the greater good. You just don't see it as much. I think people found out something that sells more than sex, and that's rage. I'm here to just show you something different. If it get 1 like or 1,000 or 100,000, that's my truth. And then guess what? I can change my mind. I can say sorry. So at Bobby's Barbecue, come experience all of that. And like I tell people, if you come the first time you don't like it, I can live with that. But if you come multiple times and you don't like it, something ain't right, please let me know. And I say that and I stand on that. And that's my truth. That's my story. And I do it for God first. I do it for my family second. Everybody who believed in me, who worked side by side with me from the past, now, present, and the future, and people that trust me from businesses, organizations, or people, baby showers or whatever, to put that food on their plate, on that table. Because it ain't so much what's on the table, it's the people around the table. But I want them to be like, but this is pretty good. Even for the ones that complain about the price, and it's legit pricing, but they come back and say, well, worth every penny. That's what I stand on. That's what I believe. And if you ever see a moment that's not that, rewind this tape and remind me of it. But I think about it daily. Even coming here, have my mind right and pray before I came. I want to show great excellence. I want to come in your domain and leave value when I leave here, leave value behind. Because you poured it into me at Southern Roots, but you did it in my own house. And asked for a dime, and that's what we need more of. People want something authentic. They want something authentic. They're not looking for perfection. They know better.
Yeah.
They want something authentic because they can relate to it. They can see a piece of themselves in you or somebody they know. And that's it.
That's what I want my show to be, man. I've told multiple people coming to sit down with me. When you come in and you sit down in the chair, the only person I want you to be is you.
Right. And in regards, if you get 1 view or 1 million.
I don't care.
And that's how I am about my posts and stuff. Because at the end of the day, I can look in the mirror, or my family can look at me and say, that's the same person.
That's it. Like, and I've said this multiple times on this show. I make, just like you said about the cigar that you're making, if other people like it, you don't care because you're making it for you. I make this show for me. Now, if other people watch it and enjoy it, that's great. But I'm doing this for me because I enjoy it.
And I had to learn when I got to work with big production companies, it's great to work with them. And a lot of people that you see in front of the camera, the people behind the camera cause a lot of the shots. So be careful how you treat people. You should do that anyway. For people, the hookahs and the jeans on, the faded shirts. But a lot of times they want you to dramatize. A lot of people want me to say that, hey, this was my daddy's dream and I picked it up. I said, I can't say that. They said, well, just say it. Like, no, because I want the people that know me, know that's the same person up there. Now, we can get a little anime, we can have a little fun with it, but no, I got to still be able to look at that and live with it.
Yeah.
That's why I pray before every motivation of Monday. Sometimes it's stuff I don't want to talk about. But if I feel led, I'm going to be obedient to it and let the cards fall where they lay.
Yeah.
Or the chips, however you want to call it.
Sure.
I got a country grammar, man. I'm excited. And I'm a curious person. I'm a student. I love to learn. I love helping people. I like being around people. And I love stories. I have dreams and ambitions for media, TV, schools. Not so much even as barbecue, but culinary. Even, I know some people that does plumbing, electrician, heating and air that's doing very well. Maybe you want to think about doing that on the side, like doing very well, but still, it's about opening doors for people. You have a lot of people that are gatekeepers. I get it. You can't give the knowledge to everyone, but some people hold it so tight or they control come through it. My type of person, if I open the door, leave it open. I don't need no credit for it. I don't need $1 from it. Pay it forward. That's what was told to me. And that's what I'm on. I feel like this was this platform doing. You're allowing me, this is like therapeutic. Let me be myself in my own skin. I never did a podcast, drinking anything. Half of them I don't even eat. But I felt comfortable in it, and this is a good vibe from my past 2 interactions. and I felt safe. So thanks for offering a safe space.
Hey, man.
That's something I'm learning in life to give it. Because a lot of people love to get in pain. Can you just listen?
Yeah.
Or a person that had the worst news in their life, you don't have to give them advice. Just sit there and look stupid with them.
Yeah.
And I tell them that. I say, I don't have nothing to say. You know, they tell me, thank you.
Yeah. And then just ears open and mouth closed.
And be a good person.
Yeah.
And if you make a mistake, own it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I'm on. That's what you see is what you get, and I'm thankful. I have learned in the past couple of years to appreciate it all. And I couldn't say that for a while. Count it all joy.
When you fall into diverse temptations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It produces patience. I think why? Because you trust and waiting on him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
man, it's been fun.
Hey, I hope the viewers enjoy it. I hope it benefits you well as benefit me. But just having this opportunity, I don't take this for granted. I'm thankful, and I'm not say that because I mean it. And I look forward to see what the future looks like for you, for us. And this is one of many. I love to be able to come back, and then eventually when I do get my podcast open, to have you on there, to open those doors for each other and just have fun doing it. And that's what I want more than anything, because when you're the trailblazer, when you're the leader, it's hard to take a deep breath and let your hair down. It's not that you're faking fun. A lot of people can't respect that, appreciate being your authentic self. A lot of people don't know how to value that.
Yeah.
Without becoming judgmental and all the other stuff, or just running their mouth or filming the whole conversation when they're supposed to be quiet or intimate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that's what I feel like. That's what you give, and that's special, and that's something of many things for me being around you. But not a know-it-all, but a very informative person, and getting the facts out there, but also giving people a safe environment, because a lot of people can't have it because you got to wear that mask, you got to put that armor on, but that stuff get heavy. And the mask ain't phony. The mask is your war mask.
Yeah. No, but here, man, I just want people to come in, relax.
Yeah.
It's hospitality. You're in we're not in some rented studio. This is my home.
Yeah.
You know, it's high hospitality. Let's have a drink.
Just a place your wife and kids lay their head at night.
Yeah.
Like, this is serious. I grew up, my favorite movie, quick thing, favorite movie is The Godfather 2. Top 5 is that, Tombstone, Pursuit of Happiness, True Grit, number 2, and Unforgiven. Music-wise, I love everything. I know it's extra music-wise, but I love hip-hop, I love country, I love everything. Top 5 rappers. I don't count Biggie and Tupac because they different, but Jay-Z and Nas, based on what they're, Eminem, Jadakiss, and Toby Nwigwe. That's what I'm gonna do on my show. I'm gonna add stuff like that. So if you didn't make the cut, I don't care. But
yeah,
that just
it'll be in there.
But that's where I'm at. But something he said in Godfather, that this is a place, my home, my wife and kids sleep. My kids play with their toys. Like, I would never. And I know people who've done this. I'll never bring disrespect or bad juju or bad vibes. You respect that home. A man allows you. I don't care if I come here 10 times. I'm still ask you, can I go to the restroom, even though I know where it's at. That's sacred. It's a man's domain.
Yeah.
But we were talking about respect earlier. I take that very seriously, and I require that.
Yeah.
With a smile, sometimes with a frown. I'd rather smile.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. I've enjoyed the chat and everything. Listen, y'all get out to Simpsonville. Put some of Tay's barbecue in your face.
Yes.
You will not regret it, I promise.
And if you can't make it, tell someone about it. If you're out of town, go online and eat Bobby's and buy something. But other than that, it's an honor and a privilege to have the opportunity to get your business, especially return business. And we really love what we do. We love the barbecue, but we love people more. And I'm thankful for this opportunity. I would not take this for granted.
Awesome. Well, thanks for listening and or watching Sunday Afternoon Smokes. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it on your socials. Share it with the world, because Sunday Afternoon Smokes is really sweet. We'll talk to you soon.